Hello, everyone, and welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Daily O. I'm your host, Aaron Gonders. Coming up for us today, the OSU football team is gearing up for their matchup with Arkansas Pine Bluff this Saturday. We'll hear from them and some of their players, and 5 former Cowboys will be inducted into the Hall of Honor this Friday. All that and more on today's edition of the Daily O. All right, everyone, starting us off this Friday, 5 Cowboy greats will be immortalized in the OSU Hall of Honor. Former softball coach Sandy Fisher, soccer great Adriana Franch, women's basketball star Andrea Riley, golf stud Lindy Miller, and star wide receiver Rashawn Woods are the names in question. Fisher coached Cowgirl softball from 1979 to 2001 and led the Cowgirls to 901 wins and 15 Big 8 championships. Fisher also led the Cowgirls to 9 Women's College World Series appearances. Adriana Franch was a 4-time All-American on the Cowgirl soccer team from 2009 to 2012 and a FIFA World Cup champion. Andrea Riley led Cowgirl basketball from 2006 to 2010. She racked up 2 All-American honors and was picked 8th in the 2010 WNBA draft to the Los Angeles Sparks. Lindy Miller won 2 national titles and was a 4-time All-American with Cowboy Golf. And last but not least, Rashawn Woods played on the football team from 2000 to 2003 and led the NCAA in receptions during the 2002 season and holds the records for catches, yards, and touchdowns at OSU, still to this day. And now we go out to the Sherman E. Smith Center for some football. Cowboy football wrapped up its player availability yesterday. Notable Cowboys to make an appearance included Cowboys defenders Simone Assi and Thomas Harper. I take a listen to what both had to say for their upcoming matchup against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Down here, I knew I could play. I was undersized. Coach Glass has helped me out a lot. Gaining muscle, but it means a lot to me. It was always a goal of mine to play D1 football, so I'm glad I'm accomplishing that goal. I've always been, in my opinion, I've always been a pretty good athlete, but now this is like a different side of the ball, so I'm blocking instead of tackling. So I think it's worked out well for me. I miss just getting in on the sack celebration, getting a sack or a tackle, big hit. I love that energy after a sack or after a big hit. But when Coach McIndoe and Coach Dunn, they came to me and they were talking about possibly getting a scholarship, it piqued my interest, and I'm glad I made the change. It's worked out. You just look at last Saturday, big teams got beat, so you got to lock in, you got to take them serious, and you got to study them. That's all. That's what it comes down to. Also, what's different is I'm from a 2A high school. It's a lot different. I'm not blocking, Trace Ford in high school. You know what I'm saying?
How to play corner and technique-wise, it helps a lot being able to cover guys in the slot. And then now that I'm a safety, my tackling and just open field tackling and all that is getting better. So I feel like just me having that corner background and now I'm playing safety, just putting them all together, I think it helps a lot. Yeah, it was definitely better. Just kind of seeing things before they happen, like expecting different type of motions and stuff like that. We still got a lot to improve on, but I think from game 1 to game 2, it improved a lot. And I think that was just due to us, like, game slowing down, realizing more that we have to expect things, expect motions. We can't just be locked in on what set it is right now. They might motion, and just understanding the defense a lot more. And hopefully it'll keep improving as the season goes on. It definitely helps. I don't think we're going to see too many teams as fast as them. So just being able to have the confidence that no one can run by me and just being able to really stay patient in my coverage and stuff, I think it helps a lot, having those guys to compete with every day. Yeah, we just they keep harping on us about just respecting our opponent and never taking anyone lightly, because whenever you do that, you never want to play down to the level of your competition or whatever the case may be. Just taking them serious and taking this week serious, because it's college football. Anything can happen, and we're not trying to overlook anybody, and we're not overlooking anybody. And, just taking it like any other week. They have a good back, a good quarterback, and they have really fast receivers. So we'll just have to be ready for that. And their back, receiver, and tight end are really good. So really just keying in on them and
The Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions and the Cowboys are scheduled to face off actually for the first time ever this Saturday with a kickoff time at 6 p.m. Make sure an hour before kickoff to tune in to Ocali TV's pregame show with Dylan Walker and Emma Lightfoot. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. After our break, you won't believe how many holes of mini golf these Kentuckians have played. The number may shock you. And Sharks going airborne? All that for you coming up next on the Daily O.
Tucked away in the city of Ripley, Oklahoma, the award-winning Washington Irving Trail Museum showcases the heritage and history of Payne County. This museum holds antiques, treasures, and artifacts that one cannot find at any other museum. With hundreds of historical antiques that display OSU history, along with Native American history, the museum has it all. The museum is well known for their book containing pictures and news articles about Frank Eaton, the original Pistol Pete. Dale Kluber opened Washington Irving Trail Museum in 1994 with its collection of historical mementos. This museum is filled from wall to wall with Oklahoman history. The Washington Irving Trail Museum is 15 minutes outside of Stillwater. Experience history at one of Oklahoma's hidden gems.
Pecans are staple to Oklahoma. In fact, many of our native pecans come from trees that are older than Oklahoma statehood.
My father's the one that got us started into the pecan picking. I was probably 10 or 12 years old, and we started off with one little mechanical picker that you pulled behind a four-wheeler. Then we'd go home at night and we'd clean them on a TV tray. I guess watching my dad work hard when we were young, and people started trusting him and getting more and more groves, we just kept growing.
Being a relatively new and fresh company, we get to sit in the same room with people who have been a part of the Oklahoma economy for decades.
It's opened a lot of doors. It's gave us quite a bit of exposure, and I think people, will take a small company like us a little more serious. We're just going to continue growing as long as our community lets us and our customers keep on buying, and we'll see where it takes us.
Hi everybody, my name is Emily Shuping. I'm your marketing coordinator for the Made in Oklahoma Coalition. I'm coming to you with an amazing opportunity. We are teaming up with the Ocali Media Group at Oklahoma State University. We want to tell your story on the following platforms: streaming, newspaper, and digital. This opportunity will not only allow your story to be told locally, but nationally as well. I am so excited for each of you to join in on this tremendous opportunity. This will not only be good for your business, but it will be good for our great state of Oklahoma. You can be expecting an email from me soon with more details about this opportunity. Local has a name, local has a face, local has a flavor. The Made in Oklahoma Coalition.
Welcome back to the Daily O. Let's get into your national headlines. Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry is possibly cashing in big time with Under Armour. $1 billion to be exact. Rolling Stone reports the deal is a lifetime contract with the company. Curry's current deal with Under Armour is said to be worth $20 million a year. However, that contract ends in 2024. In 2020, Curry and Under Armour launched an offshoot apparel division, Curry Brand, to compete with Nike and its Jordan brand. Curry's line included shoes and clothes for basketball, as well as other sports such as golf. And now 4 Kentuckians have earned a Guinness World Record and helped out those in need. Father-son duo Chris and Cole Hetzel, Tony Centers, and Bob Schottinger now hold the record for the most holes of miniature golf in 24 hours by a foursome in July. They played 116.5 rounds, had more than 14,000 strokes, and powered through 2,097 holes. They smashed the previous record by 657 holes. But this putt-putt game wasn't just for fun. The foursome encouraged donations for Matthew 25 Ministries, which helped after the devastating floods that hit the state last month. They raised almost $3,000 directly. The International Humanitarian and Disaster Relief Organization also says it saw a surge in donations around the time of the game. Serena Williams seems to be leaving the door open when it comes to playing competitive tennis again. Williams had announced at the US Open just weeks ago that she would evolve away from the sport following that tournament. But Wednesday, when the 23-time Grand Slam champion was asked about a potential return, she replied, "You never know." Williams referred to another famous athlete's back and forth with retirement, saying, "Tom Brady started a really cool trend." Williams was knocked out in the third round of the US Open in a moment many thought would be the last act of her 27-year tennis career. She said she was planning to focus on her family as well as her business and charity work. In other news, we've heard all of those old fishermen's tales. The Kraken, the Loch Ness Monster, mermaids, we've heard them all. For this fisherman and his grandson, they have their own tale to tell, and you'll have to see it to believe it. CNN's Jeremy Roth has more.
I've heard of things jumping the shark, but apparently in coastal Maine, a shark jump you. At least that's what happened to charter skipper David Sinclair and his grandson Cameron when they hooked a mako shark on a fishing trip. The already surreal encounter turned wild when the fighting fish suddenly took flight. Despite the in-your-face twist of fate, everybody was okay, and they quickly scrambled to restrain the shark, then took measurements, tagged it, and returned it to the sea, keeping only one whale of a shark tail.
Coming up next on the Daily O, we'll have some MLB action coming your way. The Texas Rangers had a game at home against the Oakland A's. Albert Pujols and the Cardinals look to continue their hot hitting against the Milwaukee Brewers. Stick around.
We would design something, it was set on the counter, and people was either, if enough of them said, you know, this isn't it, it never made to the line. Dad was excited that they're all original. They were all designed on Mom's kitchen table, and it gets in your blood after a while.
We're very happy that Pamela and Michael have taken over the business and kept the family going.
We took the business over in 2017. When we found that it was available, we wanted to keep the legacy of family alive, but it was also incredible products that deserved to be a part of Made in Oklahoma's story. We were a part of Made in Oklahoma years ago, and so it kind of grew as Made in Oklahoma grew.
Oklahoma is ingrained into everything that we did. We've been here most of our life. That's what we entailed our whole business on, was the Oklahoma homegrown feeling.
I'm Kristen Hawkins. I went to Oklahoma State University here in Stillwater in '99 to 2004. I've always felt like Stillwater needed more family-friendly things to do, and we have opened up AR Workshop. We do everything from knitting blankets that can be done in a 3-hour class. We create doormats and porch signs, the Christmas wreaths with our yarn that we use for the blankets. We also do, we just started a new project for gnomes, and we've done pumpkins during the fall. But our big thing that we do here are interior signs. Our designs are extremely unique to AR Workshop. Customers come in, everything is here for them to do. They create everything. They can be as hands-on as they want. They came in here to relax and have fun, and that they are proud of their project that they've made.
we use the very best of the best ingredients. Demerara sugar is the best that is. Very high quality fruits, berries. The milk we use is the best milk there is. That's why it makes our product stand by itself. I like to make yogurt because I like to eat yogurt. We've been doing this for ourselves for many years because it's a tradition in our family. And we want to have a product which would be very similar to French yogurt, but with our touch of uniqueness, linking our name, our product, with the reputation of the Made in Oklahoma Coalition was probably the best thing we have done as far as promoting our product.
Welcome back to the Daily O. We have lots of baseball going on in the surrounding area. And first, we have the Texas Rangers taking on the Oakland A's in Arlington. So top of the first, no score here. Dermis Garcia up to bat, absolutely launches one dead to left. It's gone. Oakland A's starting this game off big with a 3-0 lead in the first. Now we have the Rangers, Adolis Garcia, double into center here. He's going to score one for the Rangers, getting them down 3-1, still early. Game's not over yet. Now, Rangers, another hit here. Josh Jung doubles deep to center off of Ken Waldachuk. Adolis Garcia scores. Now we got 3-2 Athletics. And now Athletics are back to the bats again. Here's a hard shot to right by Nick Allen. And he's going to double. Jonah Bride scores now 4-2. All right. Now, Dermis Garcia homers now to left off of Ken Waldachuk. Big one here. That's going to bring it 7-5 for the Rangers. And here we are tied in the bottom of the ninth. Mark Mathias hits a walk-off dinger. Joe Pamps off of Joe Pamps, and that's 8-7 Rangers for the win. Big one there. All right. Look at that. Big celebration at the plate. Next up, Kansas City Royals went up to Minneapolis to take on the Minnesota Twins. So here we go. Top of the third. Center fielder, Gilberto Celestino. Sensational sliding grab. Look at that. Gets right down on the hip. Slides a good 3 feet or so. Nice catch. Twins at the bat now. 2 on base. And Carlos Correa smacks it. Oh, no. Carlos Correa hits an RBI double to right field off of Chris Bubich. Gilberto scores. And here we go. Carlos Correa in the 5th. Here we go. 2-run shot into the upper deck. Gone. Twins now up 4-0 on the Royals. So here we go. Twins again. Another hit. That's up in the air. 2 left. Gone yet again. Jose Miranda smacking that one to left. And another one, here we go, 5-0. That's Gio Urshela smacking a solo shot to left center field off of the Royals. And Royals are up big here, 6-0. But the Royals on top of the ninth, here we go. Big shot out to left field with 2 on base. Bobby Witt Jr. hitting that double, bringing in Giovanni Moran and Hunter Dozier. And now, 2 on again. Sebastian Rivero, RBI single on a ground ball to third, and that's going to score another. And that's going to leave our final score at 6-3. Big strikeout there from Nick Pratto at end of the game, 6-3. To cap the segment, we have Albert Pujols and the Cardinals taking on the Milwaukee Brewers in St. Louis. So here we go. Andrew McCutchen, big shot into left, and that's going to score 2 for the Brewers. And here we go. Look at that celebration. Having a good time. So now, Pujols up, runner on second. Gets a nice little Texas leaguer into right. That's going to score 1. And the Cardinals take the lead in the bottom of the first. Got a barn burner going here in St. Louis. Now tied at 4. McCutchen, again. There's a big shot to left center. Going back, and it's gone. 2 shot for McCutchen, putting the Brewers up 8-4. And here's another shot from the Brewers. That's Hunter Renfroe getting one there, and now the Brewers up 8-4, and that leaves it final. Brewers take the one in St. Louis. No home runs for Pujols, but a big win for the Brewers over likely a very, very good playoff opponent in the St. Louis Cardinals. And now we have the play of the night. Also have some birthdays across the world of sports. Don't go anywhere because we will be right back after this quick break.
Tonight.
Hall of Famer Jim Scott throwing out the first pitch. This one.
We use the very best of the best ingredients. Demerara sugar is the best that is. Very high quality fruits, berries. The milk we use is the best milk there is. That's why it makes our product stand by itself. I like to make yogurt because I like to eat yogurt. We've been doing this for ourselves for many years because it's a tradition in our family. And we want to have a product which would be very similar to French yogurt, but with our touch of uniqueness, linking our name, our product, with the reputation of the Made in Oklahoma Coalition was probably the best thing we have done as far as promoting our product.
So it is not a night out with friends. It is not a one-night stand that seems out of character. It is not a extra confident day or a one night of sleeplessness. It is a pattern of behavior that is inconsistent with how that person has been their entire life. I did not know this, but there are several types of bipolar. I was diagnosed with bipolar 1, and bipolar 1 is characterized by mania, which is when the symptoms of hypomania become dangerous and become destructive.
Are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Welcome back to the final piece of the Daily O for tonight. Time to get into some history. So we're going to turn back the clocks in the history books. Let's take a look at some sports history here. So, on this day in sports history, nearly 1 century ago, Washington Senators pitcher Walter Johnson walked away with the 1924 American League MVP award. Johnson set the league on fire throughout the season, leading in total wins with 23, a sub-3 ERA, as well as tallying nearly 160 strikeouts. The former 37-year-old continued on in the league for 3 more seasons before being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1936. Walter is currently in 2nd place in MLB history with 417 career wins. And a couple of well-known athletes also have some birthdays today. 14th ranked golfer Tony Finau turns 33, along with 6-time NBA All-Star Jimmy Butler. And Finau has 2 tour wins so far this season, one at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, the other at the 3M Open. Butler coming off a run with the Miami Heat to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they lost to the NBA runner-up Boston Celtics. Let's take one more quick look into your national headlines. Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry is cashing in big with Under Armour, getting $1 billion with that deal. Rolling Stone reporting the deal is a lifetime contract with the company. and his current deal said to be worth $20 million a year. So he's getting a lot more money there. Then we got 4 Kentuckians earning a Guinness World Record and helping out those in need. Father-son duo Chris and Nicole Hetzel, Tony Centers, Bob Schottinger, all 4 of them now hold the record for the most holes of miniature golf in 24 hours by a foursome. This July, they played 116.5 rounds, more than 14,000 strokes, and powered through 2,097 holes. Raised almost $3,000 directly. And then Serena Williams seems to be leaving the door open when it comes to playing competitive tennis again. She announced at the US Open just weeks ago that she would evolve away from the sport following that tournament. But Wednesday, when the 23-time Grand Slam champ was asked about a potential return, she replied, "You never know." She also cited Tom Brady as a reason that she could be coming back. Imagine that. That'll do it for this Wednesday's edition of the Daily O. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to tune in tomorrow as Emma Lightfoot will keep you in the loop for everything you need to know. For the Daily O, I'm Aaron Gonders. Good night, everybody.
Pecans are staple to Oklahoma. In fact, many of our native pecans come from trees that are older than Oklahoma statehood.
My father's the one that got us started into the pecan picking. I was probably 10 or 12 years old, and we started off with one little mechanical picker that you pulled behind a four-wheeler. Then we'd go home at night and we'd clean them on a TV tray. I guess watching my dad work hard when we were young, and people started trusting him and getting more and more groves, we just kept growing.
Being a relatively new and fresh company, we get to sit in the same room with people who have been a part of the Oklahoma economy for decades.
It's opened a lot of doors. It's gave us quite a bit of exposure, and I think people, will take a small company like us a little more serious. We're just going to continue growing as long as our community lets us and our customers keep on buying, and we'll see where it takes us.
A Golf Digest 5-star course, Best New Public Course won an Open in 1994, and a top 100 public golf course in America since 2003. This course, just 5 miles outside of Stillwater, Oklahoma on Highway 51, is named after one of the influential golf pioneers this game has known.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek's a modern golf course.
The beauty of the course is in large part to the elements of the grounds. The Georgia fairway is transformed from its original forested landscape. Georgia was used to combat the tough winters so golfers could play year-round. The greens are large and sloping bent grass hills. The low-cut bent grass can be similar to glass during peak championship conditions. The bunkers surrounding most holes remind golfers of a white beach rather than a deep hazard. Lake Louise, surrounded by the second 9, completes the perfect finishing hole. The long par 72 course perfectly combines nature with the difficulty of a championship course. Karsten's added challenge is the Oklahoma wind.
So there aren't any other schools in the country that have that same commitment to college golf as we do here at Oklahoma State.
But if you're going to play at the highest level, you've got to be able to focus on where you want to go. And Karsten Creek does a good job of training you to do that, because if you don't, you're going to have a long day. And that's a great legacy that Coach Holder left, because that's the way he coached.